The media mass effect. So we have seen that the massive negativity of the mass consciousness creates the original separation from the true beingness of our soul. But that's only the beginning of the black magic mind control orchestrated by the occult elite. As soon as the initial separation into an alter/ego has taken place, it's all about the programming of this alter/ego. Just like in MK Ultra, where different alters can be programmed with different tasks and missions through hypnosis and triggers and these things, so the alter/ego of everyone is being programmed from the very beginning. This programming comes from the obvious outside sources of people who have already gone through the same mind control programming, such as parents, teachers, education, media, television, and so forth. But more importantly, it also comes directly from the mass consciousness itself. Let's explore how this works. The elite-controlled corporate media has been dominating the world for a long time. The same fake narrative has been spewed through every channel, making it seem real, since everyone is saying the same thing. In short, the mass corporate media has served, and is still attempting to serve, as a smokescreen for the real self-serving agenda of the occult elite. When virtually everyone is exposed to and buys into the same narrative at the same time, this creates a massive imprint on the mass consciousness. As people then proceed to discuss what they have seen within the given mainstream paradigm, this naturally reinforces and cements this narrative even more strongly. We could use a Reddit analogy for this. You could say that everyone upvotes a certain narrative and makes it a dominating paradigm in the mass consciousness. This is the reason why questioning the official narrative has been such an uphill battle for so many years. It's also the reason why no amount of logic, proof, or arguments can convince certain family members or friends that the official narrative of 9/11 is completely bogus. It's also the reason why so many people these days are in total meltdown and hysteria about the Trump presidency. To compensate for the repressed and deep-rooted existential insecurity, a certain percentage of the population will always identify with the perceived strongest narrative in the mass consciousness. The black magic programming is working in them and through them at full capacity, and they are in fact useful idiots for the occult elite's agenda. The whole leftist liberal political correctness movement is the prime example of this. The best advice is to ignore such people for the time being and concentrate on those that are more ripe and ready to free themselves from the matrix. So we have now revealed the two major black magic tricks the occult elite has been using to control and manipulate humanity. Mass consciousness trauma installs the vengeful and rebellious Lucifer as a gatekeeper of our soul at the core of our ego personality structure. This core existential insecurity makes us ripe for mass programming that again make many of us unknowingly serve the elite agenda and create even more mass negativity. It's a negative death spiral. If you think all this looks bleak and hopeless, hang in there because the good news is coming. Remember, the occult elite is never stronger than the strength of the fake narrative paradigm they have imprinted onto the mass consciousness. I'll repeat that. The occult elite is never stronger than the strength of the fake narrative/paradigm they have imprinted onto the mass consciousness. And that fake narrative smokescreen is now finally collapsing as the truth it has hidden is coming into view for more and more people every day. In the next chapter, I will talk about a major turning point that has happened in the fall of 2016.